beauty or the thing that I really enjoy about the PYP is it doesn't put learning in boxes. It looks at learning as a whole. We develop them as learners, and their ability to think and connect sort of different sort of bodies of knowledge and ideas of knowledge and how that connects to the world and their experiences as well. How are we connecting with, say, a central idea or within our concepts, and what are the connections that we're each making that so we're building an overall experience, an overall learning experience.
And the collaboration between the teachers of the different subject areas is a core part of that as well, that we're seeing improved integration between the single subject teachers within the units of inquiry. That transdisciplinary approach really shows through with the work they do. The core really is a safe, supportive environment in which students feel comfortable to take risks, to ask questions, to not know the answers, and because that's really where the inquiry gets its quality and depth.
And kids are naturally inquirers, like they're so curious. They're not being limited by anything, the more they want to find out, they will, and they're encouraged to do that. And that then leads, it's like a snowball effect really, isn't it? It kind of leads another question, but what about this and what about that?
It's a really powerful indicator that learning doesn't stop.
Right,
when we get to this point here, it's not that, okay, we've done now and we're moving on to something else. It's cyclic, and it's going, okay, well, where to next? We know this, well, what about this?
And I think being open-minded is huge as well, because in order to communicate that, you have to be able to understand somebody else's perspective and understand where they're coming from. I've really tried to focus on starting with them first, like how does this concept or idea affect you? And then, well, how about your community? How does that affect your community? And after that, what's beyond that, the global? Because I think it's hard for them to understand sometimes global because it's so big. But when you bring it back to yourself and then make that small ripple for them, then they can understand it more on a global, a larger scale.
Yeah. A core part of that, of the systems we had to put in place for supporting learning and teaching, was allowing teachers the flexibility and time to be able to truly work together with their teams, to be able to create the units of inquiry and to be able to make those relevant and engaging for students, and then provide them enough flexibility within that program to cater that to the needs of their own students in their own classroom. So within the lines of inquiry, there's great scope for students to take what's interesting to them and exciting to them, and the teacher's able to bring that in to enrich the learning for all students in the class. As a leader in a PYP school, we need to model what it means to be a learner. We're expecting our students to become lifelong learners, and as leaders in the school, we need to do the same things. And the fact that we are in a collaborative work environment means that the teachers and administration are able to work together for the students.
It's important to involve students right from the start. We need to have a shared understanding of where we are as a community of learners together first. So, initially when we're looking at a unit, we're planning a unit, and we look at where we have a central idea and well, what does this actually mean in the framework of the community of learners in our classroom. We might have, when we sit down and plan together, an idea about a particular concept and how this will run, but when we come into the classroom, it can be completely different. And that's great, because then we take off and we share that, and well, look, actually this was the experience that I had with my class, and there's things that trigger onto that as well. You have an idea, but that idea might not necessarily be where you end up, which is excellent. I mean, and that's realistic.
Yeah, it is very realistic, because you're constantly, as an adult, you change your ideas and you change your mind about things, and I think having those concepts, it's broad enough to where you can make the room for those happy learning experiences,
and exploration.
And the lines of inquiry they have within the units too, they do promote action with the students. We often see students taking independent action around things that they're passionate about in their local community, and sometimes even beyond.
The PYP is fun because, I know when we sit down at a planning meeting, it's engaging and it's motivating when you're working with others and you've got ideas bouncing off each other, and that transfers across into the classroom. I think when the students are working together, and they're collaborating together and they're thinking, I know we were talking about this with Miss Becky and we're talking about this, and they're able to build those connections and share that knowledge amongst them, and that creates a real buzz in the classroom as well.
They enjoy the learning. When you go inside the classroom, you see, you feel the vibes of positivity and enjoyment and how relaxed they are. So that tells you a lot about the PYP and how it pushes learning to its best.